Here we are in Orange, Connecticut for the second time to visit the one, the only, the Pez Visitor Center. And yes, this is a museum. This is merch about merch. This is a museum about merch, and there's really something special about that. So we're so happy to be here. I mean, already the theming on the inside is super cool. Look at this Pez bench one could sit in. We've got the grape and strawberry variety over there. There's a Pez pressed penny machine. Let's go take a look at that. Some designs here. You can get a variety of pressed pennies. The Pez is not included, alas. There's even apparently 792 dispensers in this main lobby. I just think they do a good job with the small space, sharing all the facts and all the history. It's a self-guided tour. The largest and most comprehensive collection of Pez memorabilia on display in the world. Very cool. Oh yeah, the Pez chopper. We'll see that in a second. And I've learned that this character's name is just the Pez boy. You know, we've met the Pez girl outside already. There's Peter Pez, the clown. This is the largest Pez dispenser, also known as the Pez boy. And here we go, folks. This is what peak merch is all about. Pez exclusive Visitor Center dispenser. There he is, the Pez boy of Pez boy fame. I'm literally behind him again, behind his giant head. That's what the back of the world's largest Pez dispenser looks like. And this is the size and version that can come home with you. So get your own Pez boy dispenser exclusively here at the Pez Visitor Center in Orange, Connecticut. There you go. For my etymology nerd friends out there, you know who you are. This is where Pez comes from. Pez comes from the German word for peppermint, Pfefferminz, taking the P from the first letter, the E from the middle, and the Z from the last to form the now iconic brand name. And there's Vienna, Austria's Edward Haas III. Invented this as an adult breath mint and an alternative to smoking. In 1957, Pez came out with the space gun that you're looking at there, second from the left. Can you imagine being shot in the face with a Pez? Couldn't feel very good, but very cool, very collectible. These are some groovy Pez flavors. Pez chlorophyll. I mean, why not? You know, get your daily dose. Pez licorice and the Mod Pez. Those are flower flavored. That was a swinging 60s thing, it seems. This fella is Peter Pez, the iconic clown I was talking about, and pretty cool, creepy guy. A lot of the original Peter Pez stuff goes for a pretty penny, but there's another clown Pez that's one of the most valuable. I think it's Bozo the clown. One of those valuable Pez dispensers you can get. If you look here, you can see these sort of non-character Pez dispensers. They have some in the gift shop too. I think these are cool pieces of merch, only for the die-hard Pez fan, the person who's really in it for the candy, not the clout. And then these are, I guess when Pez came on the market and they were still marketed as mints and an alternative to smoking, these would have been the tins that they came in, so pretty cool. Were you at Dispensorama June 15th, 1997 in Mentor, Ohio? If so, leave a comment down below. I'm waiting. And she may not be the most recognizable Disney character, but this Mary Poppins dispenser, first introduced in 1973, is actually, according to the Pez Visitor Center, the rarest of all Disney Pez dispensers. So, pretty cool. And the hallway up to the second floor of the Pez Museum is an ode to the history of Pez's Pez Girls, an illustrious and iconic collection of human mascots throughout the years. As you can see, you know, Pez really did not shy away from inclusivity at a time and in an age when you would argue, or maybe surmise, that many folks weren't celebrating diversity. Pez was, even in this eucalyptus form here. Was this the original Pez girl? You tell me. Pez is America. Anybody who tells you different, wait, it was founded in Austria and Germany. Never mind, but this is still pretty cool. There's no better way to let the other gangs know that you go hard than by riding a Pez chopper. I mean, take a look at this thing. Hold on. Let's just get a little bit closer here because you gotta see. Look at that. I mean, the detail on this thing is pretty spectacular. I don't know all the terms. I'm not a chopper guy. But I know this is a chopper and not a motorcycle, so that's something. I also know that whenever this was ridden, Santa Claus literally took the wheel. So there's that too, something to think about. So cool. So cool. And it looks like Funko Pop has been paying homage to the Pez girl throughout the years in multiple iterations here. These look fairly modern. We'll see when we get to the actual gift shop if there's any fresh Pez Girl stuff. This Pez Girl was pretty comely for sure. I mean, she's trying to hang out, and you know, you hear sex sells, and obviously ads used to be more unabashedly sexualized of the female form, but she's sort of a classic beauty, almost like a Pez pinup. We've come a long way, indeed. We've come a long way. I think even for students of advertising and marketing, coming to the Pez Visitor Center is really a fascinating exercise in how logos and iconography and colors and kerning evolved over the years. I mean, it all seems pretty silly. You know, for the most part, this iconic Pez logo itself, the words, have not changed from what I've seen, but look, I'm not reading all the little cards. I did a couple years ago when I was here. But we're just passing through, and this is ultimately an exercise in merch, so that's what you're getting. I don't want to give away the farm, so to speak. It's important that you still come here for yourself and experience the wonder of the Pez Visitor Center. Otherwise, you might miss something like the Pez Box Polka. What did it sound like? We'll look online and see if we can find it, but the Pez Box Polka, there you go. And the beloved ska band Less Than Jake actually released a record called Pezcore, which it looks like this is a sort of loving merch package version of. They made a Pezcore limited edition, which looks like one of those Space Gun Pez dispensers we were talking about earlier, branded with the band's logo. The band signed it and blister packed for the ska fan who has everything. There it is, Pez Space Gun. Less Than Jake. You think that Gene Simmons is pissed that this signed Pez dispenser of Kiss's Peter Criss is at the front of the case with the Gene Simmons Pez dispenser nowhere to be found? He probably doesn't know, but if he did, I'm sure he wouldn't be stoked about it. The museum also captures Pez from around the world, and it just truly demonstrates how global this brand is. I mean, look at all these different varieties, these different countries, these different languages, these different cultures represented. Some of the branding remains, well, that's English, but there's your boy Peter Pez. The Pez Jungle Mission, sure, why not? Frismenta looks like a more modern version of the original Pez, but they seem to be doing really well. They also seem to make this at some point, so something to think about there. It's like a Pez pipe. If somebody speaks what I'm assuming is German and wants to a peace pipe, Frenzenpfeife, I don't know. But it's been a long road for Pez, you know? It's cool that they're honoring all their history, even like the not great stuff here. So there's a strong culture in Japan of these vending machine toys. And it seems that that's where a lot of these little mini Pez dispensers came from. So there's a whole case here up in the museum portion dedicated to these characters. Some anime, there's Pokemon. I'm not familiar with a ton of these brands, but they look like a lot of anime characters. So feel free to educate me. I'm really here to learn. I'm always a student of everything, especially merch. This is a vast and mysterious capitalist world we live in, isn't it? Something to think about. Other times the merch isn't esoteric at all. This clearly says on the handle, on the dispenser, Japan Pez Gathering. Very cool. It looks like this was another limited. they've done such a great job of keeping a few pieces of things here for people to catch up on and remember and preserve. I love it. And it seems that the Japanese Pez gathering was a tradition, or is a tradition, that they did year over year with sort of a different theme dispenser exclusive to every edition. Truckers Meeting 1 and 2, the 5th and 6th annual, but then you get these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's what's his name? Is this Sanrio Frog? Is that a Hiruno Peckle? I don't know. Somebody will correct me. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe we're not at peak threshold yet, but Pez has its fans. And it's fun to see people debate over all this stuff. They made some Gundam Pez for a while. That looks like a thing that existed for sure. This is the sort of wordplay that's truly only achieved through true fandom. And it's clearly a fanzine. And I just want to recognize that. Yeah, I think it's nice. And you know I love these vintage vending machines. What the heck is Tombi? Oh yes, Tombi Sankarmelon. These are the questions that keep me up at night, and the Pez girl's really selling me on it, so I don't know. I just don't know. We've arrived at the merch of merch display. I mean, who doesn't want a Pez keychain of Pez or an enamel pin? I was actually lamenting not getting any enamel pins last time I was here in the gift shop. I don't even know, I don't assume they make these anymore because they're behind glass. But we've also got Pez miniatures here. Oh, so much to love, so charming. Let's see what else we can see. You know, if that's not enough for you, could I interest you in a Pez shoe by Camilla Elphick, who I assume is a noted shoe designer. Obviously a Pez dispenser in the heel. This Star Wars set, circa 2005, is special plated to commemorate the launch of their first ever gift set. Only a handful of these were ever made, and they were given to Lucasfilm execs. There's a giant Darth Vader. So sick. I can only imagine that these commemorative peppermint Pez originals came out on some sort of anniversary, but seeing them in this box again and not in their iconic dispenser just kind of feels like a loss. It makes me a little sad, so I don't know. We'll stick with the dispensers, you know? Back down on the first floor of the visitor center, they have cases and cases next to the gift shop of Pez over the years, grouped by theme. So you can see this is Sports Pez. Let's see what we got here. Maybe the origin of Pez Boy here in the corner. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? If I move over to the animal section, I'm pretty taken with this Pez Flamingo collection over here. I don't know why it's speaking to me. I think they're pretty plump, these little flamingos. Look at them. Look at that. There you go. Pretty cool. Very tropical. Maybe I just miss Florida. The animals also include some IPs. These are the limited dispensers they made for that Illumination film Sing when it was released in 2021. There's Gunther there on the right, a beloved Sing character. And honestly, just when you think this place couldn't get any more meta, there's a case next to the gift shop of Pez merchandise. So, Pez-related ephemera. This appears to be some sort of toy, maybe like a soft plush. There's masking tape for Pez. Who doesn't want a good old Pez bath sponge, I ask you? I mean, this is the good stuff. I don't think any of this is in the gift shop anymore. We're obviously going to take a look. What do you think we're doing here? But, yeah, Pez pencil holder. Why not? Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Pez air fresheners, Pez calendar. Just doing a quick scan to see what else I'm missing. Pez magnets, we'll find some magnets. Another Pez watch with the trippy eye we saw earlier up there as well. A document and magazine holder, circa 90s. Yeah, what's a magazine, mommy? Exactly. Ask your mother, kids, she'll tell you. What's he up to, Huckleberry Hound? What are you up to, Huckleberry? There's always been something about him. Those innocent eyes, the demeanor, the disposition. something else going on that Huckleberry's not telling us, but he too plays an outsized presence in the gift shop. I mean, I imagine this is not for sale. And seeing all this iconic memorabilia from these fan meetups, there's so many of these. I just want to say, like, I know I'm coming into Pez fandom as a student. I'm just passing through, guys. I'm not claiming to be a Pez expert. This is by no means a history video. What source am I providing as a content creator then? What resource? I would just say entertainment, fun, you know, mild frivolity. I'm not by any means a Pez expert. In fact, if I'm an expert of anything here in this whole museum, it's probably my boy E.T., to be honest. Probably E. Now I'm looking at this dedicated Star Wars case, and yeah, there's Palpatine, there's General Grievous, you know, Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars, there's the Death Star, there's Chewie, there's Vader, there's R2. Guess who's missing? Take one good guess as to who's missing. Yeah, your boy Jar Jar. In fact, I'm looking through this whole case. I don't see Jar Jar anywhere. Has Jar Jar been erased from history? Are they censoring Jar Jar? Do you think Jar Jar is really getting an unfair shake in this world? Leave a comment down below. You know, I'm doing the comment down below thing too much. Do whatever you want. I mean, I don't know. No Jar Jar. Lots of other cool Star Wars Pez though. So that's something. Add to the other assortment of clowns that Pez has platformed over the years. The Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey clowns are right here. There's FX toy show dispensers. So they made a lot of stuff for trade shows and for limited purposes. I wonder if you could have them do that now. I mean, here's one they made for Whataburger. Energizer Bunny over here, Chuck E. Cheese, the Geico Gecko, Suze Me Bee, whoever the hell that is. Giant Pez for the Chick-fil-A folks. Jack of Jack in the Box fame. That's a West Coast fast food institution. And a Walmart pickup tower Pez dispenser. This is where peak merch gets questionable. I mean, how niche is too niche? When does something so specific that it's universal just go back to be obscure and irrelevant again? I don't know. Capitalism on capitalism. Does it cancel itself out? I don't know. Alright, so you're a humble Orange, Connecticut candy manufacturer. It's the 2000s and you're trying to make sure your candy stays in the schools. But there's something happening. Parents are cracking down. They're saying, no, you know, we don't want candy in the schools. What do you do? What do? You come up with, get this, the Pez School Tool. See the back for cool tool features. It would hold your Pez, it would be camouflage, nobody would see, your teacher would not see you were eating Pez if you had the Pez School Tool. I mean, would they? Can't imagine so. And oh my god, I'll hold my words. There's Jar Jar, not even in the Star Wars section. Jar Jar with his own commemorative Pez dispenser. Justice for Jar Jar. Hashtag justice for Jar Jar. Amazing. Just simply amazing. 1972, man. Hell of a year. Hell of a year. If this clown was offering you Pez, would you take it? What would you do? I would eat this clown's candy. Clowns have a spectrum of emotions that they elicit. Fear is very common. Wonder is another. It's all in the makeup, the spacing of the eyes, the realness of the smile. How genuine is it? Peter Pez is love. Pez is love. Pez is life. And were he feeding me candy, I wouldn't assume the worst. I would humbly accept it, and hopefully not be poisoned. You know, not all catchphrases are designed to stand the test of time. I'll leave it at that. So there's currently something going on at the Pez Visitor Center where you can feature your collection in a case, and you can ask them how at the front. But this is actually, I guess, a bunch of celebrities holding Elvis Pez dispensers. There's actor and game show host John Hurley, a couple of people here. Michael Bolton holding what I assume is the same dispenser. But there's a different dispenser next to everybody. Former Vice President Dan Quayle, Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, Huey Lewis. Like he said, you know, it's hip to be square. It's also square to pose with an Elvis Pez, so that would be on brand for him. I am surprised at actor and noted badass Samuel L. Jackson. I would think this would be beyond Samuel L., but, you know, what are you going to do? Jimmy Fallon, not so much. I would really expect this from Jimmy Fallon, this sort of low behavior, as my buddy Dan says. But, again, you know, I wouldn't necessarily expect it from Alice Cooper. I mean, Alice Cooper, cool dude. I would expect it from the Doors' Robbie Krieger, though. Robbie Krieger's pretty cool, but also, some would say, a tool bag, so. And then you got a bunch of other people here, like Carson Daly. I'll just leave that there. That speaks for itself. Kevin Nealon. MLB Hall of Famer Yogi Berra. R.I.P. If he's still alive, I apologize. And of course you knew we were going to go to the gift shop, so here we are. A lot of t-shirts, a lot of Pez dispensers, a lot to love. I'll show you what I can find. And I am a fan of this windbreaker here. It's got the reflective panels, it's obviously waterproof, it's only 50 bucks, and best yet, it's got that embroidered classic Pez logo. Only reason I'm not getting it, it's got no hood. I got a windbreaker, I'm caught in the rain. What, am I gonna not put my hood up? Come on, Pez, get it together. Minor gripes, but that's the only reason, literally the only reason this item is not peak merch. So the Pokemon Pez are pretty cool, and they were here last time I was here. But what wasn't were these Super Mario Pez. I imagine they came out somewhere around the release of the movie in 2023, but, you know, I might be wrong. These single dispensers are $2.49 each, and again, you get a $2 credit per voucher for coming in here, so it's a good way to get you to spend a little and maybe get you spending more. I really think about this stuff here, but these are nice collectibles. I mean, when I get little things like this, I just leave them in the box. In fact, last time I was here, I got these Mandalorian and Grogu dispensers. Because look, well, I guess they didn't call him Grogu at that point, so they must have redone the box again. Mine probably said the child, but look how little he is. It's one of those mini Pez dispensers. It's stupid, but those are the kind of things I think are really cool. They've also since gotten Ahsoka, so $2.50 for these Star Wars Pez dispensers here as well. And there's all these little signs that Pez just really loves its fans, like the fact that they even display or sell these display rails here for $2. Like, they know people collect this, they know they want to put them up for people to see when they visit, so, you know, it's not a specialty piece or necessarily exclusive here, but they're really trying to make it easy for people, which I appreciate. Other collector's sets that have an end cap by the entrance here are this Office Pez set. So it looks like there's a few versions here. Let's see. There's Dwight and Michael. There's Pam and Jim. Those seem to be the two. We also have some Game of Thrones Iron Anniversary Pez dispensers. Well, not that one. That's just the regular Game of Thrones Collector Edition. But if we come up here, yeah, there it is. The Game of Thrones Iron Anniversary. So they're not moving a lot of these, but people must be buying them somewhere, you know? You get them at the grocery store. That's where I tend to see them. Places like Stu Leonard's will have them at the end caps there. The Disney 100 tins for the anniversary of Walt Disney Company. Those are on sale as well. Only $10.99 from $14.99, so pretty cool. And for you amateur historians out there, what better way to honor our nation's history than to collect its presidents? Huh? So, I mean, you've got a ton of presidents here. Look at that. Zachary Taylor? A Zachary Taylor Pez? I mean, they got James K. Hoke. They got Taft. Taft got stuck in a bathtub, but he lives here forever, immortalized as a Pez dispenser. It's pretty amazing. Look at that. Eisenhower. Look at that. Do they have FDR? I'm looking for FDR. Let's see, Taft. Oh, they got Pierce. Franklin Pierce. Your boy Franklin Pierce. There he is. Let's see. Weird. No FDR. They've got a lot of obscure presidents here. Maybe the popular ones are all gone. Oh, Woodrow Wilson. There you go. Commemorative Woodrow Wilson Pez. Pretty good, if you ask me. Pretty good. And for you pin collectors, there's some nice lapel pins here. They're $5 each, and they look pretty well made. Probably pick up 1 or 2 of them. I gotta ask. And we commemorate a great visit by collecting 3 out of 4 pressed pennies from the pressed penny machine in the entrance. These are some great designs. There's our friend the Pez boy. There's a classic Pez logo. And let me see if we can get a little better shot of this guy for you there. Oh, there we go. Very, very cool. Who likes collecting pressed pennies? I know it's a whole culture. Do you keep them in their own book? Do you just let them loose in your purse? Let us know. No wrong answers. And just as quick as we came, we went from the Pez Visitor Center in Orange, Connecticut. A contemporary portrait of the Pez girl thanks us for visiting, offering us one final snack for the road. This has been Peak Merch. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you real soon.